Kindly watch the video linked in the comments first. It is shared solely for your inner growth. It contains essential guidelines on how to maximize the benefits of the content. Skipping it may waste your time and dilute the true purpose of what follows. Please watch the videos in the recommended sequence only, as watching them out of order may lead to confusion.
Alright, I'm ready. How do I stop judging and start just observing?
Arav, let's first understand where judging comes from. It begins with the mind's urge to react quickly, often without taking time to fully understand. This habit of jumping to conclusions is not wisdom, it's the ego trying to prove itself. The ego wants to feel important, so it rushes to interrupt, predict, or take control of the situation, often through witty replies or by humiliating others down.
I have been always doing that.
If the ego doesn't respond quickly, it feels threatened, as if staying silent means submitting to someone else's view, facing humiliation, or admitting defeat. An ego-driven person tends to speak fast, not to communicate, but to dominate. They rush their words so others don't have time to respond or reflect, and when that fails, they raise their voice, even yell, to silence others.
But why does this pattern prevail?
Arav, as we discussed, every action is rooted in the need for survival. This behavior is no different, it stems from a deep survival instinct. Being seen as weak or wrong feels like being pushed out of the group. So the ego fights to stay on top, trying to gain approval by being the loudest in the room. It thrives on attention, and when that attention is missing, the ego sees it as a kind of humiliation, almost like a symbolic death.
Now, please tell me the counter move to beat this trap.
The counter move, Arav, is awareness followed by a deliberate pause. When you notice the urge to react, especially with speed, sharpness, or the need to win, pause. Build a fail-safe dam against the tsunami of urgency to respond. Take a breath. This breaks the ego's momentum. Ask yourself, is it really necessary to comment? What is the intention behind this urge to speak? What will be the long-term impact of my words?
Listening and absorbing, please continue.
If the answers don't serve your deeper interests, then choose silence. Remain a quiet observer of the turbulence inside the mind until it settles. That pause creates space. Space for clarity, not control. Space for listening, not reacting. Space for understanding, not dominating. You're now no longer playing ego's speed chess. You're calmly observing the board, choosing your move, instead of being forced into one. True power lies in silence, not in noise.
That makes sense. So silence isn't weakness, it's choosing not to play the mind's fixed match. Stillness allows deeper interaction, while reacting too quickly ruins the whole game.
Exactly, Arav. Silence is not absence, it's presence without disturbance. It shows you are no longer controlled by the mind's urge to defend, prove, or impress. Stillness allows you to feel what is truly happening inside and outside, without rushing to change it. This is where real strength begins, when you're not led by noise, but by awareness. And in that space, your response, if needed, becomes wise, not reactive.
Please teach me how to practice this on daily basis.
To cultivate stillness, Arav, you must begin by observing, not controlling, the mind. Every day, give yourself even a few minutes to just sit, without distractions, without an agenda. Watch your thoughts come and go, like clouds passing in the sky. Don't resist them, don't chase them. Just watch. This practice builds what is called inner space, a buffer between stimulus and response.
Listening and absorbing, please continue.
Second, slow down your speech and your breath. The faster you speak or breathe, the more reactive you become. Conscious breathing is like anchoring your boat in a storm. Third, practice non-reactivity in small moments. Someone interrupts you. Just smile inside and don't rush to reclaim attention. A message provokes you. Pause. Reread it with a calmer mind. These are small wins, but they build tremendous inner power.
Quite relatable and implementable too.
Finally, reflect daily, not to judge yourself, but to learn. Ask yourself, what triggered me today? Where did I feel most reactive? Could I have responded differently? Stillness isn't passivity. It's choosing how and when to act, rather than being dragged by impulse.
But if I stay silent, won't people treat me like a doormat? I look weak and end up collecting insults like free samples. What do I do then?
That's a valid concern, Arav, and a very common fear. But silence is not surrender. Stillness is not weakness. And choosing not to react doesn't mean you're powerless. True power lies in your ability to choose when to speak, how much, and why. Most people speak from a place of reaction.
Can you give any example for it?
When you act with full awareness, your actions arise from necessity, not ego. You don't need to justify them. They emerge like a natural reflex, as effortless and instinctive as jumping aside when a bus charges at you. In such moments, the ego doesn't calculate, awareness simply acts.
Wow! This has happened to me so many times. My hand swats away flies rushing toward my eyes before I even realize it. Perfect timing, perfect hit, every single time. Feels like a miracle of synchronicity in action.
That's the secret. When you stay present, you transcend limited intellect, and a deeper intelligence takes over, one that's spontaneous, appropriate, and free of karmic burden. Why? Because the ego wasn't the doer. The action didn't come from personal desire, it came from presence. Remaining silent doesn't make you a doormat. It simply means you no longer wrestle in the mud with those who don't know better.
But what if one continues dominating and humiliating?
If someone tries to humiliate you, stay rooted. Let them expose their immaturity while you hold your dignity. If a boundary is crossed, speak, but do so without rage or haste. Respond like a warrior, not a wounded child. A lion doesn't roar at every bark. But when it speaks, the entire forest listens.
Wow! Now that's worth implementing.
And if someone still tries to provoke you, just look them in the eyes, give a genuine, grounded smile, calm, not sarcastic. It signals, I see your childish tricks, but I won't mirror it. That smile will sting more than any comeback ever could. It's the emotional equivalent of burning them with invisible chili powder. Why? Because they're expecting you to retaliate back. When you don't, it throws them off balance. Their plan to rattle you stands denied.
Okay. Thanks for that. I'm really going to enjoy tossing invisible chili powder at my humiliators with just a silent smile, and to really spice it up, I'll even say, you are right. Let's wrap it up for now. I've got a few leftover questions on oneness and the path of devotion, saving them for our next meet. See you soon.